There's a story I saw, and I want to ask you about it. You said at one point you were like a muscle for a drug dealer. Is that true?
So you saw that video?
I saw
yeah.
it was a short clip.
Only told that story one time or something like that. Yeah, yeah,
but
it was.
Is
So
it all, that's all true?
It is. Yes, I'll tell you this story. It's a funny story. So I'm crazy story. I'm at Bally's. I'm 20 years old. 21
Bally's in
years
Vegas,
old.
yeah.
Bally Total Fitness in Culver City, not the casino, but the club. And there's this guy working there, good-looking white guy, tall, 6'3", 6'4", and he's working sales, but he doesn't want to sell anybody. But he drives a Rolls Royce outside. So I'm like, a very weird, situation here. He would have all these nice cars, but he would never sell. One day he's coming with his BMW. One day he's coming with this car. I'm like, hey man, how do you make money? If you don't sell any membership, they're paying you minimum wage $720. You're only making $1,200 a month. And every time we get a walk-in, you give it to one of us. And a walk-in pays you $60. He says, you think I want to make $60? The hell am I going to do with $60? I said, why are you working here? He said, what are you doing this weekend? I said, nothing. He said, go party with me. No problem. So we go to 3rd Street Promenade. And then he takes me to Marina. He takes me to all these places. He introduced me to this Colombian guy. And then he says, this is how I make my money. I said, how's that? And you see a mountain white powder in this corner. And he says, you want to make real money? I'll show you how to make real money. I said, how's that? We have to go collect money from this one guy. You'll get paid $4,000 every week cash I'll give you if you come and do this with me. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? So we go into this one Marina Del Rey yacht, and it's filled with these guys partying and all this other stuff. And the goal was to get the $100,000 that we needed to get. And anyways, 20 minutes later, we got the money and we left. It was a beautiful situation. They're happy. They're offering me all this stuff. And they said, look, man, if you do this with us every week, we'll pay $4,000 every week cash, not W-2, nothing. And I go home, I'm like, dude, I'm about to make some real money here. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm about to go to jail if I continue with this guy. Mm-hmm. I thought about it for 1 week, and then I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. This is not going to be the way to go. But it was the 1 week that I spent time with this guy, I realized how he was making his money. It was also an interesting story with him. Do you know David Giffen? You know David Giffen, one of the bigger Hollywood. He's like
I've heard the name for sure.
Yeah, so he is like the Weinstein. You know who Weinstein is, right?
Yeah,
the guy that got caught. Okay, so Giffen is one of these billionaires, like $3-4 billion guy, feared in Hollywood. He says, one day I get invited to his house because this guy wanted to be a star, actor, good-looking guy. He said, we go to his house. It's me and my best friend. And they say, David wants you to come upstairs. He says, we go upstairs to the room. I'm like, oh, my God, we're about to get into a movie. David's done all these different people he found. He's done this, he's done that. He says, we go upstairs to his room. And he says, so I'm thinking about putting you guys in this next movie. Great. What do we need to do? You need to give him a blowjob.
Holy shit.
And he says, I look at my friend.
Well, hold on, sorry. You had to give it? Or
No. The guy, this guy that was the cocaine guy, was the guy that went to David's house being invited because he wanted to be an actor, like big time actor. So he's telling him, you got to give him head and I'll put you in a movie. Because he got off of seeing men doing this to each other. And that was the starters. Anyways, his friend looks at him and says, look, bro, I'm willing to do it if we're going to get into a movie. This guy's like, I'm not doing it, dog. I'm out of here. So he left. He says, that's when I said, I'm not doing anything with Hollywood. And he got into cocaine business. And that's how he made his money.
Damn. Yeah, that shit goes on, I guess. I've heard stories like that.
He can't, people have to be way more cautious now. I feel like back then you probably could get away with a lot more. But now, I mean, that's fucking crazy.
I'm sure you're seeing
What movie was it? Hold on. Big film or?
That's a very valid question you're asking.
I'd have to see the script at least.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at least read the script.
Who knows how big the movie
Top
was?
Gun. It's worth it, right? If it's Top Gun, you're going to do it. Hey, we got to figure this out, guys. I mean, it's not like it's going to be public. But no, I mean, listen, it's a Hollywood. A lot of weird things would happen. I was a manager at Bally's in Chatsworth. And Chatsworth at the time was 80% of all porn was shot in Chatsworth. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. Chatsworth was like the capital of porn. And I would run the only Bally's club with outdoor swimming pool. So these guys would show up and they're like, hey, would you guys mind if we stay here afterwards and do stuff. I'm like, look, guys, you got an hour. And they would do all these crazy things. And I'm like, look, moving forward, you guys can't do this. This was a little bit too crazy what happened tonight.